Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and to all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my subscribers left me a message. One, to reply to her comment will mean me typing up a very lengthy reply, and two, I decided to share it as a video so that other people can contribute as well, because I don't know it all, let's be honest. So my plan is I'm just going to read her comment and I will say what I think or how I feel about it, and then everybody can, you can all leave advice or comments for her, and at the end of the day then she has the freedom to choose what advice would suit her best. So I'm going to read her comment. So her comment says, I don't know how to send you a private message, so I would type it here. I want to get married soon, but the man and I are not financially strong, but we want to get married. He is hardworking, I am hardworking, and we support each other. He supports me more in any way he can. There is a pressure on us to have a Nigerian traditional marriage ceremony, plus wedding and reception. To me, it's too much expenses. We'll rather pay the bride price and do our court wedding with just family and a handful of friends and put our money into a bigger apartment. But the pressure is real. I need advice. I need advice. I am just tired. Being that I deal with depression all the time, it's just hard to ignore what others want. I feel like I am different if I don't do bridal shower, bridesmaid uniform, ashwebi, etc, wedding, reception, etc. But we can't afford all that. Shouldn't I get married because I can't afford all those celebrations? I would greatly appreciate it if you could give your advice concerning this. Thanks. And her name is Olivia Seed. So now, I think the first thing I personally want to talk about is your depression. Do not mess with depression. Like, if you are suffering from depression, if you are suffering from depression, go for counseling, talk to your doctor. Don't ignore depression. It's like, no, try to deal with that. Like, apart from wedding or no wedding, you should deal with depression. Just really go and sort that out. Depression can be a lifelong mental health issue that can just be there but can be managed. But some people have been managed so well that they are well recovered, but it's not something you should ever ignore. That's the first thing that's the first thing I want to say. Marriage or no marriage, wedding or no wedding, whatever, that is something you really need to sort out. So that's that. Now, and then something else I noticed is I'm gonna give you my advice, and everybody then is free to just leave advice and leave advice for Olivia and let her then decide. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna leave her to decide, but all we can do is advise. So now this is what I would advise if it was me. Okay, you see, we're all different. We're all different with age and time and everything. I have always been that kind of person that I was never really that, like, to be honest, I never really kept a lot of female friends, and I would rather, like, even as a young kid, I played with my brothers and kicked on the footballs, and I would climb the trees. I never was really mixing with ladies because I found that the guys were busy having fun, but the girls were busy bitching. That's the fact, and being jealous and competing with each other, stuff like that. When I played with the boy, there was never competition, like, oh, who has the best clothes, who has the best that, who has the best that. I think all this bridal shower and that thing, she said she feels like she feels different or something like that if she doesn't do all these things. There is a pressure on a lot of girls to have this wedding that is like, this wedding that is like the biggest wedding in town. Like, there is, like, every day they keep adding to the list of things to be done for wedding. In the olden days, what did our parents do in the olden days? Our parents just found the girl they want to marry, go to the family and do the traditional get to know each other introduction and simple stuff, bring the goat and the drinks and the whatever requirements, and boom, they take a wife home. But now there is registry, there is a white wedding, there is this, there's all this going on. Now, something else I want people forget sometimes is there's a difference between the wedding and a marriage. There's a massive difference between a wedding and a marriage, but we all forget we tend to forget that. A lot of us tend to forget that there's a difference between the marriage and the wedding. Wedding is one day, your white wedding, whatever. Wedding is just a ceremony. No, it's just the, all of that. While marriage is what you have then to live with the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? Wedding is a day. It's an event. It's a day. But your marriage is the life after the wedding. Do you know what I mean? So what is the point in doing a wedding that you spend so much money and then you have no money left then for your marriage? If you get what I mean. What is the point in spending so much money on the wedding one day and then have nothing left then to actually have money for your marriage? You know what I mean? So I would always say to people, if you have all the money and you're a Dangote but you want to spend all the money, why not? But if you don't have to put pressure on yourself. I know in some areas where it's going to be tricky is when it comes to, sometimes parents will want it to be this way, the girl's parents want it this way, and the guy's parents want it that way. But personally, I think it's good to, in a situation like this, you want to be married, you love each other, you want to be with each other, you can actually, two of you can go to the parents. Two of you can go to your parents first, sit them down and talk to them, and then go to to the man's parents as well, sit them down and talk to them. We have this money that we want to spend on our apartment, we don't want to spend it on a wedding. What do? We don't want to spend this, we don't want to spend. Most parents will be understanding. I know of families where everybody chip in the bit and everybody kind of contribute and say, okay, you know what, family member could be like, you know what, I'll look after your canopy, and somebody else will be like, you know what, don't worry, I'll look after the food. It happens in some families. I know people that got married. It depends in some cultures now. Some people that got married and it's just one family member decided to just, oh, I'll do that, don't worry, I'll supply all the fufu, or I will supply all the, I will supply all the pounded yam, don't worry. You never know. Sit them down and talk to them. They may be able to get one or two other people involved, or family can have a meeting and be like, okay, let's help these people out. It depends on the culture, right? In some cultures, you were never allowed to ask for help with your wedding, ever. It's like seen as a taboo. It's like a man saying, oh, I need money for my wedding, and they will be like, no, if you don't have the money for the wedding, then you're not marrying this girl, you're not marrying our daughter, because how can you marry our daughter if you can't even afford the wedding? But some people forget it's not all about money. It's not all about money. I've seen guys that go to marry a girl and the family be like, oh, he's not rich enough, we want the biggest wedding in town, and the girl goes ahead and marries this guy, and 6 years down the road, that guy is a multi-millionaire. I know of one. I know of somebody. The family were like, no, he has no money. You're not going to marry him, he has no money. Down the road, that guy is the richest in the whole of the family. Like, he is the richest in-law they ever had. He's the richest in-law they have. He is so rich. When I say rich, he is so rich. So all this emphasis on, money. What is money? What is money? Don't forget that all these rules and all these celebrations, they're all man-made. A couple can actually walk into registry and walk out 5 minutes later married. Do you know? A lot of people forget. People go to church and do church wedding. Do you actually know that you can actually walk into the church and get married with only 3 people, 2 or 3 family members behind you? Did you know you can do that? Do you actually know? Let me tell you, do you actually know that you can actually do your wedding on a Sunday service? All the pastor has to do is do the normal Sunday service and then spend about 15 minutes to do a blessing. And that's it. I do, and that's it. I have seen people do it. I know of a guy that lived abroad, and he came to Nigeria and he told the girl, look, I don't have time for all the long ceremony, whatever. I want us to get married, and I'm traveling and I'm traveling and I'm taking you away with me. Like, I want to get it done. They went on the Sunday service, and family members were there on the 7th Sunday service. They had normal native. They both had white native on, and then the pastor spent about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, did the marriage blessings, and they're married, and they're like 20 something years married. Yeah, about 20 years married now. But it's nice to have family and friends and everything, but sometimes I think we end up carrying it overboard where it becomes too expensive, and there is this almost a demand on people to do it that way. I would say speak with your families, his family and your family. Speak with your family, his family and your family, and let's see what advice they will have for you guys, or what suggestions they're going to make. Because at the end of the day, I know what you're talking about. People are going to do the introduction. They go for the first introduction and just get to meet the family first with a bit of, it depends on the culture now, but I know some cultures where you come with the first introduction, the first time you officially come and show your face, like the man goes to the girl's family and show the face. And then they do the real traditional wedding, where there is all the canopies and a cow is going to be killed, and there's going to be massive pots of food and everything going on, and that's that. And then after that, then you think about then going to the registry, and then some people will still have a big party for that one, and then they're still going to do the church wedding, where they will do the bridal shower, the this and the that and the that, and then it's just rolling and rolling. At the end of the day, people can actually get really burnt out, both physically and financially burnt out. So people are like, oh, well, we're Africans. No, let me tell you, I know we're Africans, but sometimes there are cultures that are borrowed, and if you like the culture, why not do it? Like for example, we like the traditional Chinese food, and we're all eating it, and it doesn't mean we don't still love our African food. So there are a lot of white people that are getting they're getting married outdoors, and they have this small venue, and they have like maximum 20 family members, and they go home and they live happily ever after. So if you had all the money, why not? And if you had all the money and you want to spend all this money on a wedding, why not? But you don't have the money, but you want to be married. You have to really sit down and decide. But don't forget, you're not going to be deciding by yourself. Speak with your partner, speak with your man, so you can both be on one page, and so you can actually sit down and think about it and really decide together. I personally never be in favor of spending all your money and then going into the marriage itself and have nothing left. Anyway, so my thing is, I do not see why people shouldn't get married just because of money. You know what I mean? I would never be able to wrap my head around that. Money shouldn't be a barrier. People shouldn't think because you have no money for a wedding means that the marriage is a failure. That's not true. That is just not true. There is more to a marriage than just the wedding day. And a friend of mine made a YouTube video about the response to this what's it called, this Visa Bae. I made a video about it. Maybe I'll link it in the description box, about this girl, and she was struggling and she needed help. I was even shocked to see that people were saying date with a purpose. And I thought to myself, where is our world coming to? Date with a purpose. Okay, fine. The purpose, as far as I know, is date for love. Date for love. And they'll be like, this girl's boyfriend has no money, has no citizenship. What's she doing with him? This is why some guys think that ladies are gold diggers. If somebody is going to come up and say, only date a guy that has citizenship or a guy that has money, seriously, that's not love. That's not love. Even marriages where there is love, they have struggles. So imagine marrying somebody because of citizenship, or marry somebody because of how much money he can give you. What's our world coming to? So people may be like, oh, the man doesn't even have money to do a wedding, why are you marrying him? Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. That is not a criteria for a good marriage. That is not a criteria to know a good man. Money is nothing. What if God decided you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow? Don't ever look down on anybody because they have no money. Don't ever look down on anybody because they have no money. He loves you, you love him. That's the most important thing. You're not lazy, you're working. I don't know what country you live in. Things are tough. Everybody has struggles, but that's not a reason for two people that love each other not to get married. So like you said, you have enough money, just that you have enough money, just that you're planning. You want to get a bigger apartment, and you don't want to spend all that money for a wedding. That is a sensible thing to do. I wouldn't advise you to spend all your money on a wedding and then struggle afterwards. Spend your money wisely. Ask yourself what matters. That is how I feel about it. I think talk to your families and see what they say. Tell them this is all we have, and hopefully they can come around to accepting what you have and give their blessings. You know what I mean? But I think most parents will be understanding of the struggle of their children, and they'll be happy that you found love and that you're about to move on with your life. That is what most parents would that's how they would say it. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to leave it open for all of you that are watching. Please leave an advice. It's not every day somebody comes online and say, please guys, I need help or I need advice. And I like a situation like this for people to contribute, and just contribute your advice, and at the end of the day, put yourself in her shoes and advise her, and hopefully she can make the right decision at the end of the day. I think that's all I really have to say about this now. I wish you all the the best with your wedding and your marriage as well. And to everyone else, thank you all for watching. Until the next time, guys, bye bye.